Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone on Facebook and welcome to the Open Diner. And we're going to have a good night tonight, fun night tonight. We're going to try to liven it up a little bit. And we have live musician. And we've been at home now for some of us maybe for 2 months. And I think there's some lessons that we learned. Maybe nature is trying to tell us something. So we're gonna go around, we're gonna talk. Excuse me. I hope everybody has something nice to eat, something nice to drink. And we're just gonna discuss about how everybody's feeling about what we've learned during this time that we're at home. And the people on Facebook, if you could give us some nice likes and loves, we appreciate it. So we have a lot of nice friends here tonight that are gonna join, and we're all gonna have a good time. So thank you. David, if you want to give us open us up with a nice song.
Sure, thanks, Carl. You know, I was talking to Carl earlier, and he asked me to come do this thing. He wanted to make sure I was going to be here. I said, yeah, as a matter of fact, I wrote a song just for this occasion, and I'll explain real quick. A couple of our friends do this show called Quarantine on another network, of course. And I caught their show today, and Mary Peralta, I think that's her name, from Toronto, was talking about integral education, and it was amazing. And it actually, I'll get a little like a lump in my throat now just thinking about her story about how she touches the hearts of these children by teaching integral education. And as soon as it was over, I sat down, and this song is what came out. So I'll have to fake my way through it. You don't have to be everything they thought you always wanted to be. And now it's time to see we're all in this together like the harmony. Because you're high, low, you're everywhere to go. You're even in the air, yeah, you're even in the atmosphere. You're up, down, on and on around. And you're every beat, and you're even in the atmosphere. Have to be everything you thought that they wanted you to be. Oh no. And now it's time to see we're all in this together like the harmony. Just like friends. Together. Together. Because you're high, you're low, you're everywhere I go. We breathe you in the air and you're even in the atmosphere. You're up, down, every time I turn around. We breathe you in the air because you're even in the atmosphere. Everything's beautiful.
Wow, that was beautiful, David. Thank you so much. That brings such a nice feeling going into tonight. You know, we are all in this together. And, you know, we've been meeting on Thursdays here on Facebook, and friends of doing, you know, Facebook live parties and watch parties. And I look forward to this day on Thursday because we can't get together with friends, and it's almost a Friday, even though we're all quarantined pretty much. This is a great forum for us to get together and really have a drink, have some food, you know, and do some nice conversation that we just can't get anymore. That's safe behind a screen, but our hearts, everything, we can still express ourselves, which one thing, like last week, what we did like an icebreaker. We asked friends to put a drink together, a healthy drink in a blender. So today we thought of something a little different as an icebreaker. If everybody's into it, we could think of something funny that happened this week that could lift us up, either a joke or something you heard. You know, I could say many times I'm on Facebook all the time or Instagram, stuff like that. And people are so clever, especially during bad times. They think of the funniest things. And I'll just start. I'm Roberta from New York, and you could say your name if you want, where you're from, if you want to say something funny. I heard a joke, kind of a joke. There was a mom who's so worried about her children. She's, you know, home, the kids are not at school, and all they're doing is watching TV. So the mom doesn't know what to do. So she was talking to somebody. They said, I got the great idea. I think it was a teacher that actually said this. They said, let them watch the TV, mute the TV, and put captions on. So anything they watch, they're reading. So that's their new reading class. Instead of reading a book, they're reading the screen. So at least there's something that the kids are doing today, but everybody's on the TV. But maybe somebody else could add to that. I know maybe it wasn't that funny, but I thought it was very clever, you know. But please join, and if you have something, make us laugh.
I'm also not so good in being funny, but one thing that popped up in my mind, and I wish I was prepared, then I could have shown you. I could have taken that picture I saw. What I found so brilliant was in Italy, where they were on well, at home, 2 balconies, and 2 neighbors who put a table or just a piece of wood leaning on both of the balconies, one on the one end of the table on his own balcony and the other one on his balcony. And yet they were sitting together at the dining table, bottle of wine, of course, in the center between them, 2 glasses. They just shared their meal together like we do now. I found that so brilliant.
Hey, so I am Paige. I'm from New York. I am now in North Carolina, but my roots are still with me. This is my first time doing this, so I'm excited. The first, the funniest thing that I think I've heard this week, you know, I'm an internet generation. You see all these memes on Reddit and Facebook, was this kid. It's had a picture of a kid, you know, on the kids, it says, student. I don't have my assignment. I left it at home. And then the next caption was teacher's assistant on, you know, like Skype classroom. You what? You are home. So that's what I've got.
That's funny, Paige. I don't know how funny this is, but those of you who have I'm Nina from New York. Those of you who have been to supermarkets, I'm actually trying to avoid going to the supermarket. I'm ordering stuff on Amazon, but it's so difficult to get a window for delivery. So I had to go to the supermarket, and those little bags that they always had that you have to open, they're kind of difficult to open and put the vegetables in and stuff. Try doing that with gloves. I was literally standing there for like 10 minutes going like this, unable to open it. So that was my funny incident.
That is funny, Nina. Mine came from my kids. We were out walking through the neighborhood, and my 13-year-old daughter and 15-year-old son and we all had our masks on, and they came across a mother with two friends from their school that they recognized that weren't wearing masks. So I don't know where they got it from, but my kids, rather than speaking to them, they stopped and they pointed at him like Invasion of the Body Snatchers and started going like this, you know, and you should have seen the faces on these kids and the mother. They didn't know how to react. It was very funny.
I have I don't know if it's a funny story, but it's a great observation of human behavior. So we've had construction on our block. I'm Michelle, I'm from New York, and I live in Manhattan. And there was a construction bucket that was stuck in a tree, and it's been there for like a year. Well, like a couple of weeks into the quarantine, I look out and one of my neighbors has fashioned this long pole and is spending like all afternoon trying to get this bucket out of this tree that has been sitting there for over a year. So it was kind of like, that it took them to be quarantined and at home to see this bucket and do something about it. So I thought that was kind of funny.
So, hi everybody. Lucian from North Carolina as well, Paige. We're here in Holly Springs. Yeah, so what's funny about these days is we're all stuck, right? And we have meetings. So one of the things you have to do in a meeting is find someone. So we didn't have somebody show up to a certain meeting, and we're like, let's call him. And we called the person, and we're waiting and waiting, and nobody answers. And we're like, where can he be? He can only be home. So he said, well, you never know. He might be in the bathroom. You just, yeah. So anyway, I thought that was cute.
I have a quick story. I'll try to make it quick. It could be long, but my wife is from Colombia, and she's here home with three boys, one man and two boys. And in America, you know how, vulgar and, the men can be. And in Colombia, they're not like that. So after 2 weeks in quarantine, she left the house. She had enough. She was gone. So we're in the backyard. I'm in the backyard with the kids. And I said, guys, mom left. We've got to get her back here. And one of the boys says, well, it's all right. She can go live with her brother. And I was, no, I've got to do something. So right away we text her, and I had the recording of it, but for some reason I couldn't get it back up. And one of the boys was saying, Mom, please come back. We won't fart and burp anymore. Please come back. So, and they've lived up to their bargain. So it was just a thing that we've learned, that we have to learn consideration dealing with each other. Thank you.
Well, that's a great stories. That's a crazy one to leave off with, Carl, but I guess that's a guy thing in a family with the guys and a family like that, but it's funny. It was all good stories, guys. So we're going to go now into a video, which we're going to watch, and then afterwards we'll discuss it. But if friends are joining now on Facebook and having Facebook parties, if you hit the like button, that would be great, or the heart button. And if you have any questions, our friend Alana is on Facebook now, and she'll be keeping tabs of if anybody has something to say. She's waving now. Hi, Alana. So let's go into this video and let's watch it. Everybody relax and let's take a look.
Do you hear that? Look around. people showing appreciation to all those in the front lines, all those who
I think we had a different video, didn't we?
We did, but I thought we were going with the flow. I thought maybe it was something different, but we could watch the other one because we have a nice
No,
question
but it is ready because we watched it. This
last
afternoon.
week.
Yeah,
You have
exactly.
the right one? Sure. We have a nice
No,
one.
but Ronna will have it ready soon, so won't be a problem. Yeah. For those who think it was that, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Donna. I'm in New York now, but originally from the Netherlands. I saw some guests from the Netherlands joining on Facebook, which is cool because, yeah. And Ronno is right in front of me, as you heard. He's my husband. So we're together and doing the tech. So we're good. That's what you hear every now and then. And as you heard, he's ready. Here's the clip.
Stop. Just stop. It is no longer a request, it's a mandate. I will help you. I will bring the supersonic high-speed merry-go-round to a halt. I will stop the planes, the trains, the schools, the malls, the meetings, the frenetic, furious rush of illusions and obligations that keep you from hearing our single and shared beating heart. Your obligation is to each other, as it has always been, even though you have forgotten. I will interrupt this broadcast, the endless cacophonous broadcast of divisions and distractions, of greed and exploitation, of yesterday's news, to bring you this long breaking news. You are not well. None of you are. You are all suffering. The firestorms of anger and political division did not give you pause. Neither did the tsunamis of depression and rising waves of suicide, the feverish consumption at the expense of everyone and everything. You have not been listening. It is hard to listen when you are so busy all the time, hustling to uphold the comforts and conveniences that scaffold your lives, but the foundation is giving way, buckling under the weight of your excessive egoistic desires, of your indifference to the other's needs. I will help you. I will bring the feverish fires to your body. I will bring the flooding to your lungs. I will isolate you in your life, just as you have isolated your hearts, that you might hear, you are not well. Despite what you might think or feel, I am not the enemy. I am a messenger, an ally, information itself. I am a balancing force, asking you to stop, to be still, to listen, to look at your fellow human, see him, notice her mood, feel his state. How much do you need those around you to be happy and healthy, so that you may also be healthy? How does their health contribute to the health of the tree, who contributes to the health of the sky, who contribute to the health of the river, so that you may also be healthy? Many are afraid now, but you're all afraid together. This is a start. Change is afoot. I am not the crisis, but the knocking of an opportunity. Stop. Listen to it. The day you start relating to everybody else as if your life depended on them, even without the threat of infection, is the day I will disappear. I will help you, if you listen.
That was an amazing video. I've seen that video before, and it just like brings it all home. It's it's like, for me, it's like it's time to do something, it's time to make a change. And I don't know if we all feel that, or what's going on in everybody's head, but you'll have a chance to say something about what we learned from this lockdown. It's let's keep the good feeling going here, because this is what this whole open diner is about, is to learn from each other and feel each other's heart and, you know, really have a good time, good connection time together. And I learned that that the way we were handling the world on a level of the relationships between people, I learned that it was really broken, and even what that video says. So I'm learning also to heal those broken relationships, and because I think it's going to really make a difference when we all get it back out there and back out there dealing with people again. So anybody else has anything to share what they learned from this lockdown, please?
So I actually, I think have first a response. So I thought that was extremely powerful, that video. And I think the main reason I thought that was that it felt difficult to hear. In the beginning, I sort of felt called out. I think a lot of people do. Maybe the stubborn side of me that thought, oh, but I am doing what I should be doing, and couldn't see myself in the person who wasn't as open or as understanding as they could be. For me personally, I know that I've always had insecurities around vulnerability. And one thing that this whole pandemic experience has taught me is how to be comfortable, or at least more comfortable, with being in a vulnerable position, opening up to people, not clamming up and saying it's fine just because I think maybe if it's not fine and I tell them, they'll think of me differently. Because, well, we're all going through it together at this point, so I don't really have an excuse for it. So.
That's beautiful. Vulnerability, yes. That's definitely a lesson. And sharing it, daring to be vulnerable with other people around is what we win, where the gain is, because you realize being vulnerable that you cannot go through this on your own, that you need the support of others. And even if all the others are just as vulnerable as you, because we are all just as vulnerable, actually all those vulnerable people together, joining in that makes a very, very strong force. So nothing can happen to us when we are vulnerable together.
Anna on Facebook is really loves what Paige said. She says, very well said. And Alyssa is sharing that it's really time for a change. And the video was very powerful per Yulia, also on Facebook.
I think, I mean, I learned a lot of things during this pandemic. One is that I don't like being isolated at home. It's very difficult for me. But mostly I think I learned how dependent we are on one another. This tiny little virus that basically just shut down the whole world so quickly, and spread all over. And if I don't, if I get sick and I go outside, and how quickly it can spread to others, and it's kind of like it's kind of like symbolic to me of everything in our lives, how much we affect one another. I think that has been the most powerful lesson.
I learned how quickly we realize that the least common denominator is food. You know, when this first started happening, it's like, oh, I can do without that. I can do without work for a while. I can do without gas or my car. But you start thinking about going without food and your family not having food. I mean, did we ever think that we were going to be at a point in our lives in this day and age where we were like, oh my gosh, where am I going to find food? I live in the city. There's no food in the grocery store. And it just, you know, I'm sorry to call it images, but the zombie movies started coming into my head. You know, it's like where everyone's just running everybody over, and it's like, wow, we're really having these thoughts that take away everything, but just leave me my food and my family. It was interesting.
Yeah, that made me think of like the whole idea about like here in the city, you know, you can only buy 2 of something, or you know, you can only buy so much of something, so that everybody has enough. And like at first, it was like, oh well, how's that going to work? And then you go back to the store and you see it does work, because if I just take what I need and leave for other people, everybody does have enough. And you start to feel like good about taking home your 2 or 3 items, knowing that there's something for somebody else. So I think this has really like shown that in almost every aspect, if we care about other people as much as we care about ourselves, we're going to get through this. And I think that's just one of the most positive things that can come out of this situation.
You know, I could add to that. It's funny you say that, Michelle, because I was on Instacart and I would go on Tuesday and I'd buy for my mom, my sister, certain places, my dad. And it was like we need to get this. I don't even know if we need it, but we need 40 rolls of toilet paper. I need to get, you know, milk and this and that. I need an overabundance of everything. I was trying every which way. And when I'd sit there, no time available. And I hit it again, no time available. And when you hit it, it was like you hit the lottery. I'm like, yes, there's a delivery time. A week from now, I'll take it. And I think people are starting to calm down. The numbers are obviously coming down, thank God. But I see how much more can you put in the freezer? And how many toilet papers do you really need? It was like an overabundance. I think it was like a fear in the beginning that I need to get as much as I can, forget about everybody else. We're going to worry about my family and that's it. And I think after people started seeing that there was you can only get 1 package of toilet paper, that's it. They had to actually enforce that. And then I saw, okay, you know what, that will last a month if I disperse it through my family and whatnot. So it was like we needed that push to say, no, you can only have 1 of this. But then you could say, you know what, you really don't need that much. And now it's coming to the point, yes, it's still in the pandemic, we're still in lockdown, that we're still okay. I could probably last another 5 months with the food I have with my family and giving food away. So it really makes you stop and think. That video was so great. I loved one aspect of it where everybody stops in the midst of what they're doing. You know, to me, my life stopped at one moment, you know, work and everything, my friends, but everybody's going through it. I think it's it's sad, but it's amazing because it brought something out in everybody that we are all the same. You know, everybody wants the toilet paper. I figured that out. It's a common denominator, toilet paper. But I just wanted to add that about what you're saying about the food and stuff. I felt that myself. I just wanted to.
I just want to add on a little bit lighter note. We all know where is it all coming from, right? From nature. Our food comes from nature. Everything basically what we are getting comes from nature. And during all these years, during all these centuries, we've been using and abusing this poor nature. And now we it stopped us and it started blooming. And it's a funny story. I cannot go much to the nature. I love to. I love hiking. I love go to the mountains, but I can't right now. All the parks are closed. Everything is closed. But somehow nature find the way to come to me. The bird made a nest in my air conditioning in my office. I don't know if you hear it. And I know for sure where my cats are all the time because they are sitting on it with their heads up. They are trying to catch this bird that they do not see. It sings. There is a little, how do you call the small birds? Forgot the word.
Nest?
Whatever. So
bird.
That's right. So it's there and I'm listening to it and it's make me smile each and every day. So I hope that we came from this isolation, from this virus that put us all in with more open hearts towards everything that the nature give us in this world. Thank you.
Amazing. Amazing. I have to say they were really great stories. I could sit here and listen for another 20 minutes, but we have a great guest with us, David, who's going to play another song. So let's listen to him. And David, take it away.
I will. Thanks, Roberta. Well, just listening to that last conversation, I thought I need to play something that fits that mood. So I played this one in maybe years. Close my eyes, only for a moment, feeling it's gone. So my dreams, that's before my eyes of curiosity, just only hours to stare. So just a drop of water in the sea. All we do crumbles to the ground that we refuse to see. Dust in the wind, all we are is dust in the wind. Sky, it slips away, and all you really want another mini bite, dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind, dust in the wind. Everything is dust in the wind.
Oh my God, we have to do a clap for that. That was so amazing to go from the video to the discussion to that song. So wonderful. Thank you, David. Truly. So now we have some time if anybody wants to speak, give an impression of what you thought of this evening. We're closing to the end. I know friends are on Facebook watching and doing Facebook live parties and stuff like that. If you have time to maybe click a like if you like this and a heart, that would be great. So now it's, it's almost, we're at dessert. So we're gonna relax, share impressions of what you think of this evening. I actually enjoyed it. I'll give my impression first. I think it was so wonderful, so relaxing. The music and the conversation and the videos and the friends that came. I see new people that I haven't seen last week. So new people that came, I do consider you friends, and hope to see you again. But it's not the end yet. So if somebody would like to give an impression, we'll play some nice music and relax a little bit and share impressions.
It's some of the stories we're talking about, like situations that could be stressful, like no toilet paper, no food. I mean, that's for real. That's real stuff. But through this whole time, with my family staying at home, I don't have the stress like I had before. I mean, it's like this is going back to what have I learned. It's like if I'm not out there hustling and bustling all the time, I have so much time for my family, and I feel so healthy. I don't know what it is. I guess it's just because my whole system has slowed down, just like the whole world has slowed down. It's really an enjoyable time for me, especially the time I get to spend with my family. And we wouldn't be doing what we're doing right now if this didn't happen. And this is amazing. This is a great time. Thank you, everybody.
Hey guys, it feels good to be around good people doing good things. Thanks for inviting me. This is really amazing. This is really powerful. There's a softness because of, I think, the intention here, but there's also a very practical place here for people to kind of plug into and just kind of, just tune into something different, something really nice, really good.
Yeah, this was my first experience at the diner. I really enjoyed it. It was super chill, and I think in a sense it gave me a chance to regroup and to tune out from all the chaos and the news in the grocery stores and all that, and check into a sense of community, which can be really difficult at first to create when we're all stuck inside. So I appreciate this event and all of you, so thank you.
I just wanted to say that it was very inspiring for me to hear the stories and see the new people who have joined us. I just wanted to encourage everyone, we're new, we're just starting out. If you have friends who would enjoy this event, please spread the word and invite them. We're live every Thursday at 6:30. So thank you, everyone.
Just wanted to share the love that's coming from Facebook. Lots of friends love the music, love the atmosphere, great connection, and would love to join us next time. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I'd like to, I guess, add, like, I actually feel like we had dinner together. I feel like we all sat around the table, shared some funny stories, opened up about maybe some stuff that was going on in our lives. And like, I really feel like we had an actual dinner, and it feels really like a bunch of friends getting together. And it's really nice. It's a great idea.
I'll add, it was not expensive. Right? It was, right? A cup of tea or our own food, it was actually cheap. And we didn't have to get too dressed from the head down. So this is a plus.
Yeah.
I'll just
it's,
repeat kind of. Go
go ahead.
ahead. Go ahead, David.
All right, all right, real quick. I went to the mailbox and I got my Trump bucks. I was like, what could be better than 1,200 Trump bucks? And then this is way better than 1,200 Trump bucks. So, cheers.
I know Carl is going to speak, but amazing, David. I have to say, music that you wrote for tonight was very touching. I think everybody felt that. That was so cool. Hope you come back again and do this. But I think Carl's going to speak now. I just wanted to give a thumbs up. That was beautiful.
Yeah, David told you that he talked to me before we came on, and it's amazing. He was able to write that song in one day, in one afternoon, and sing it to us. I told him that I've tried to write a song, and I'm 53 years old, and still I haven't come up with one. It's amazing what he can do, really. So everybody, like Nina was saying, everybody who's on Facebook, if you can, refer your friends, tell your friends about this. We'd love to have, tons of people here sharing their impressions, and it's really just all about connection and having a good time and sitting down together and learning about each other. And we really learn that we're similar, we have the same needs and desires, and it's a great time to share it together. So on Facebook, please, if you can bring people, this is a great time. If I missed anything, Roberta, if you want to.
I maybe you said it, but I'm thinking about all that happened this evening, and maybe I'm just a little too excited. But every Thursday we're here, and it's a different topic every week. This week last week was what is the new normal. This one was what was it? I got sidetracked. It was nature. What have we learned? So each week we have a new topic. Hopefully more people will join that want to. That's on Facebook now. You could come. You could take an invitation. You could be on Zoom with us and actually be in this conversation. We'd love to hear from more people. If we had 50 people here, picture that conversation. So if friends and people want to join, take the invitation. We'll be posting this often, and every Thursday at 6:30, we are here. So I wanted to thank everybody that joined Facebook and Carl, of course, and David and everybody else that's here. Thank you again.
And Julia from Facebook just adding that there's also no traffic to join the dinner here.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you,
That was
everybody.
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Dinner was great, and so was the company.
Post a link if you don't want to leave.